a new career, and I'd never done anything that was like remotely similar to this. Now keep your hands up if you're like mildly skeptical.
Okay,
Yeah.
what?
When I first came
When we
in.
first came in.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
first came in. Yeah, for sure,
100%.
right?
Skeptical.
So like, me for sure, right? I came from preschool teaching, which is very different. Similar but different. And I was doing like serving. So I came in from like service industry and then preschool teaching, and this was like very, very different outside my comfort zone. My parents had only done like very regular jobs in the past. So I saw this meeting and it just started to all make a little bit of sense because I didn't have like entrepreneurial parents. I didn't have entrepreneurs in my family that could like explain that mentality to me or whatever. My mom's main thing was like, does it have benefits? Do you have vacation time? Do you have this? Do you have that? I was like, no. And then she like was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, you're working all these hours and blah, 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 blah. And so this meeting really helped me kind of like rationalize what's going on because by nature, I'm like a very, very skeptical person. And I just have a lot of questions about everything. And I always think there's some kind of conspiracy underlying, right? I'm the person that's like researching like what's going on here really, you know? Trying to figure out the answers. I won't like give up on something, but I'll try to search. So I bought like 3 business books my first week because I had no business experience. And I thought this was very strange. And like the first business book I ever bought was 6 Fundamentals of Success by Stuart Levine. I remember like flipping through the first chapter and it was like work with a sense of urgency. And I was like, there was like function well in a team. And I was like, and it was like have a great attitude. And I was like, what? Right? And like every chapter like lined up with what they were telling me to do. And I was like, this is crazy. Why is this so like together with what they're trying to tell me? So after I read that book, my skepticism started to like kind of depart away from me a little bit because I was like, okay, business books are lining up with what Loris is trying to tell me and it's kind of all matching up. So then I felt like a little bit better, right? But this meeting, something that I saw be run, it's called the 3 driving factors of why our business works in general, in comparison to other businesses, and this is just a way to explain our business, you know, singularly. But the first one is the business model. So let's talk about anybody's family own a business? What does your dad own or mom?
My dad, so it's the workout company. So we basically do all of like the maintenance for like hospitals with free motion equipment and like Orange Theory Fitnesses.
How much did it cost him to start that up?
It was actually pretty cheap. He's owned some businesses before, so like we got the overhead but like we got all of the parts and everything shipped on consignment.
Oh, cool.
So like our only overhead was our basically like
Warehouse
taxes
and
and warehouse and our employees.
Okay, cool. So that's not normal, but like on an average business, how much does it cost to start? Like a pizza parlor.
Really expensive.
100,000
Yeah.
or more.
It's got to be more than that, right? Just for the land sometimes.
250 to 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 250 to 500,000 on average to start a business, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. And then how long does it take them to break even?
5 years.
Yeah. So usually you're starting with like this much debt and this much profit, right? And it takes them about 5 years to meet in the middle, right? This is like a 5-year timeline of them going kind of like this. Because like expenses and whatever, until they maybe meet here and then they kind of go like this as well, right? A little bit on a normal quote unquote business, because it just takes them a lot of time to catch up. Our business model, we work with a lower overhead, kind of like your dad, Ashley, and a high profit business model. Anyone watch Shark Tank?
Yes.
This is like their dream come true, right? Low overhead, high profitability. So low overhead meaning how much does it take to start one of our offices? Well, we just opened up another office in Virginia Beach. Nathaniel, who you guys all know, right? Nathaniel just opened his office in Virginia Beach. Usually it costs between $8,000 to $10,000 for us to open an office, including the first month of expenses. Why is it so cheap? Because we don't need a private office for every employee. We don't need a computer and a laptop and a cubicle and a phone and all that different stuff. We do mainly our business inside of Sam's Club and Costco. That's where we spend most of our day, right? So $8,000 to $10,000 investment. And let's talk about how much an average office can produce in 1 year. So what's an average dollar amount that we do at an event? 600 bucks?
Yes.
800, let's do a 600. Let's go low, right? So if we do $600 and we're running 10 events, that's $6,000 per day in net sales, not like revenue, but sales, right? Now let's times this by 12 days in a rotation. So that's 72,000 times 2 rotations in a month, 144, right? Times 12 months in a year. Which is what? Anyone have a calculator? I don't know that one. Is that a guess? Okay, what? Anyone have a calculator out?
Is it 1.88 million?
1.8 million.
Okay, $1.8 million. So from a $6,000 to $10,000 investment, we're getting a $1.8 million net sale value, which is pretty awesome, right? So that's a pretty, you don't have to play stocks to understand that's a pretty good deal. Not all of this money is like owner's salary, right? Probably I would say around 10% we could estimate as what the owner could take home. So 10% of this is $180K. Make sense? So for an $8,000 to $10,000 investment, which is not made by the person opening his office. So Nathaniel did not pay $8,000 to $10,000. Sahil, the person who promoted him out there, paid that. Right? Because Sahil's going to get a kickback on this from the client. So it makes it not like a pyramid structure, it makes it like a one-on-one structure. So SomaCare is going to pay Sahil 3% on any SomaCare show that Nathaniel runs. SomaCare is. Not Nathaniel, SomaCare. Nothing's coming out of this number, right? So it's 3% of 1.8 million. Anyone have a number?
8. No, not 8. 6. Something.
Okay, let's see.
60,000.
54K. So Sahil's going to get paid back $54,000 if Nathaniel stays in business and runs 10 shows. Yeah. Whatever. So this is it, right? 54,000? That's the number? Yeah. So he made an $8,000 to $10,000 investment, and he's going to make 54K. Is it a pretty good deal for him?
Yeah.
He's motivated to do it, right? That's why we're motivated to open up offices, because it's a lot of residual kickback from the client to do that, right? So that's how the business model works. Make sense? Low overhead, high profitability. Okay, now the second thing that makes it work is the client. And we deal with two different kinds of clients, right? We deal with Sam's, Costco, Kroger, etc. Kroger. And then we deal with our programs, like SomaCare, etc., etc. Sam's Club and Costco, let's focus on Costco especially. Do you think Costco does due diligence before they allow people to work in their store?
Yes.
Big time, right? So my mom was skeptical. She's like, what's going on here? What's happening, right? I'm like, Mom, do you honestly think Costco would let people in their store, working in their environment, if they hadn't done research on the business? She's like, no. The number one reason why Sam's Club and Costco and Kroger love to work with us is because we will not tolerate somebody who's going to break a rule inside their store. We will not tolerate it. We'll let them go immediately. Without any type of issue, right? We'll be like, hey, look, this person was attempting to steal a product. We'll let them go immediately. This person has a terrible attitude and cannot regain their attitude and does terrible in the stores. We'll just direct them to a different career because sales is not it, right? Which is okay. But a lot of times in businesses, people are afraid to do that because they're kind of afraid to ruffle feathers, or you only have one evaluation every 90 days or whatever it is. We're on you guys like crazy because our goal is to provide the best service for these guys as humanly possible. Raise your hand if you've worked in another environment where you worked with really negative people. So many times, right? And you're like, man, I wish they would just let this person go. Make everyone's life so much easier if they would just get this person out of here. But why don't they? Maybe because they don't know what's happening sometimes. Maybe other times because they're related to somebody who owns the business. That's happened. What other reasons?
It takes too long. Like you have to warn them twice before you
Yeah,
fire them.
sign these things, warn, right? Or in a different type of structure, like a union structure, you have to have be a no call, no show for like 3 days in a row.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, teaching world, right? This lady was a no call, no show, always 2 days in a row and came back on the third.
Wow.
She did it like 6 times in 1 year. Couldn't fire her. Contract. It's insane, right? We won't tolerate that. We're like, no call, no show once, out.
As a teacher?
Oh yeah. We had to cover her shift. It was crazy.
Because you're union.
Yep.
We could no call, no show, and then as long as when you no call, no showed, you no call, no showed for the next day, you could do it for up to 5 days.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so you could
Welcome
call
to the
in.
real world.
So I could no call, no show, and then the next 4 days, if I texted my manager the night before that I wasn't coming in, they couldn't fire me.
Wow.
That is insane, right? That is insane. So that's something that we can't tolerate here, right? If someone's a no call, no show, it'll be an automatic termination. Because we don't have time for that. Sam's Club and Costco loves that about our business. They love that about us. The people don't necessarily love that, right? The person that we fired doesn't love that. So they have to go online and blog, which is fine because we'll take the heat, right? We'll take the heat on that because we'd rather have them not like us for letting them go for a valid reason But they're not gonna say that, it's fine. We'll take the heat, but we can't let them take it out on Sam's or Costco or Kroger. That is not okay with us. So you can yell at us all day, but don't take it out on our friends, right? Programs like SomaCare, all those kind of things. Where were they carried before they were carried with us? A lot of mom and pop shops, a lot of small venues, right? Like Lovesac Furniture was carried in malls and those mall stores. Now malls are kind of like taking a decline.
Yeah.
So let's go over a product that has to be demoed. So a product like SomaCare, for instance, that Click Heat. It's not going to sell if it's on the shelf because you can't see how it heats up. You can't see that it's reusable. Like they don't know how to reuse it. It's just too confusing to explain on packaging. Though that product is sold in Kroger on the shelves in a lot of stores, and it sells zero. Not a single one is sold. And it's called something else. And it just sits there all day, and you can count them at the beginning of your week, and you can count them at the end of your week, and I guarantee you it's the same number.
It's like Smart Heat.
Smart Heat, yeah. And sometimes they're even less expensive. And it sits there and it does not sell.
Yeah, it's $19.99.
Yep. I saw it. Yeah, when we were there, I was in there with Sarah one day and I was like, huh, that's interesting. There's 3 here. And I counted them at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, it was 3 and 3. I was like, interesting. We sold 15 sets in bulk, right? So the difference is that we have a live demo. So what the products that work best for us are live demo products, things that need to be showcased. So like getting dead skin off someone's wrist. I know it's gross, but it's a live demo, right? Scrubbing someone's hands with a body scrub, it's a live demo. Showing someone the Click Heat, it's a live demo. Feeling the pillow, live demo, right? Hair, showing them how to straighten and curl their hair, it's a live demo. So that's huge for us. On average, these programs were maybe selling, let's say 5 to 10 items per month, and they were maybe $100 a piece for individual sets. So let's err on the side of 10, and let's say that they're doing $1,000 a month times 12 months in a year. Maybe they're averaging $12,000 annually of income. And maybe they were doing that 6 or 7 times. Maybe they're averaging like 72,000, I don't know, maybe 100 grand. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, 100 grand a year, great. How much inventory do they have to support that? Decent amount, right? Probably 2 or 3 pallets in a warehouse stored somewhere. So that's quite a bit of inventory for the amount of sales. So they were upside down in their inventory versus their sales, right? So we come along and we're like, hey, we're gonna take this product and put it inside of Sam's Club at a booth. Here's our banner, here's our table, here's Keith. He's excited, he has no legs. No legs back there. Promoting SomaCare at a Kroger. How many sets do you do of SomaCare per day in Kroger? 16 shows, how many sets?
Like anywhere from like
20?
25.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's say 20 sets. How much are they a piece?
50.
$50? So 20 times 50 is $1,000 per day, times 12 days in a rotation. That's 12 grand in 2 weeks, right? Now, let's say that we're running 20 stores nationally. 12 times 20, 240,000. Times 2 rotations in a month, it's 20 stores. 480,000 per month, times 12 months in a year.
A lot.
What is it? 480,000 times 12. Get out my calculator again, let's see.
5,760,000.
Are you guessing, LT, or are you doing it? Okay, what is it? 57.
5,760. I mean, 5,760,000.
So 5.7 million. So if they were doing 100 grand, we took them from 100 grand to $5.7 million a year. Just by putting them in the stores and doing live demos. So do you think we have some pretty good job security?
Yeah.
Yes. We're the last people to get fired. We only fire ourselves if we suck, right? Because they're not going to fire anyone who's bringing in this kind of revenue into their business, right? Just be stupid. So we're bringing in $5.7 million from 100 grand. So now you understand why we have this influx of these things, right? Our clients were way supply and demand backwards. We have all this demand. Clients, stores, retailers, all this different stuff, Genzi bikes, Titan chairs, all these people that are normally doing shows are like, if we can get you guys to do it, we take so much pressure off of us. We'll keep producing, just sell our product, right? But it doesn't work without the third final factor here. People. And this is the biggest variable we have because we cannot control anyone but ourselves, right? So the people is always the biggest wild card. We know we have these 2 things down. The model works, we know it. The clients work, we know that. This is what we have no control over. This is you. All we can do is try to do our due diligence and hire the right people and make sure that we maintain the right people and let go of the wrong people. But we have no control over what you guys decide to do on a daily basis. Are you going to choose to be positive out there and represent the client properly? If you knew the client was watching you all day today, would you act differently? The answer should be no. It should be that you do that every day no matter what. I know Andrew would do anything differently, do $900 in the field. Client would be like, yes, yes, yes! Good show, right? But if a client secret shopped you, would they be like, oh man, I saw them on their phone for 15 minutes, I saw them take another break for 10 minutes, I saw them go to the back and restock, I saw them lose their attitude. It's like they spent their whole lives building this stuff. Like the least we can do to have this opportunity is to be excited, right? Enthusiasm is something we cannot teach. We can't teach you guys to be excited. You guys have to just choose to be that way, right? We can't teach you guys to like want to learn and feed your mentality. We don't expect you guys to come in with an entrepreneurship mentality. We don't expect you guys to know everything about everything. But we do expect you guys to work independently to make yourselves better and to learn different things and to learn business concepts, because that's the only way you're going to get better. I was talking to Brandon, the regional consultant in Atlanta last night. He's like, I'm going to do I want to make it a requirement in leadership for people to read 5 business books because it's so important for their growth. I'm like, you make it a requirement, they're going to read the Cliff Notes and tell you to read 5 business books. The people that are already reading business books are the ones that are going to be your owners. Like, you can do that all day. You can do a bonus. You can do whatever you want. But you can't force people to want to learn.
Right.
You guys have all been in school. There's always those 3 or 4 people in every class that do not want to learn, and they slow everyone else down. Right? They're throwing paper airplanes. They're throwing spit wads at the ceiling. They're distracting you. They're poking you in the back. Gosh, I had this like annoying person in class. I remember like in high school. It would just poke me in the back all class. I'd be like, I swear to you. Done! Right? Or I was like, he must like you. I'm like, I don't care. I'm moving my seat. It's annoying to me. Terrible.
Was that Andrew?
No. He dared. Right? So feed your mentality. Feed your, like, I can't teach you to do that. You've got to do that independently. Be enthusiastic. I can't teach you to stay positive. Why are we losing our attitude over a 30-second interaction with a complete stranger, you guys? How ridiculously stupid is that? Hey, how are you? No, thank you. Oh. Do they know your life story? Did they like walk you to school when you were 5? No. They met you for 30 seconds. Just be sad for them that they have to live with somebody else. Like, be sad for the person that they normally live with. But don't hang on to it yourself. Let it go. The fact that we lose our attitude so much is like beyond my mentality. I cannot understand it. I know it's frustrating, but like honestly, you guys, 30-second interaction. They may have just lost their job. They may have just lost a child. They may have just gotten a diagnosis. They may have just had a terrible day. And we hang on to that? Don't. It's your choice. Let it go. Working hard. This is the last element. It's really, really easy to be lazy. Life programs you to be lazy, I promise. You have the ability to pick whatever college class schedule you want. Some people didn't have classes that didn't start until noon. By design, right? So you could sleep in and make sure that you caught up on your rest, right? So you've been self-guided to like write your own situation. I am for sure the laziest person you will ever meet, by far. But I am short-term motivated to be long-term lazy, right? I'll be motivated for 10 to 15 years if I need to be able to lay on a boat with no cares in the world in Key West, Florida, right? Why not? Because it's cool there and it's fun and I would like to lay on a boat. All year, same weather. Exciting, right? But I'll work really, really hard while I have to, while I need to put in the time and the energy to be that long-term lazy like I want to be. But you can't be short-term lazy and expect long-term hardworking results. So like every day that you like can't be on point, you're adding a week onto your working world. So like I used to think about that when I was in the store. I was like, every day that I can't be motivated in here, I add another week onto my life of having to work hard. So get it done. Work hard while you can. You have 8 hours today. What are you going to do with it? So these 3 things we can't teach. And if you can figure this out, we'll give you these 2 things. We'll give you our clients. We'll give you this package, beautiful situation. We'll hand it to you and say, here's our clients, here's our retailers, here's the relationships we've spent 10 years building. Here's the business model where you could potentially make a lot of money depending on how many shows you want to run. Here's all of this for free. you can have it. But you just gotta be the right person, right? And maybe you'll leave this meeting, you'll be like, ooh, I'm motivated. And it will last literally 6 hours. I promise. That's it. Until you decide to do something about it yourself. Because you can be pumped from this meeting, but it's only gonna get you through until 2 p.m. when you hit that same wall that you always hit. Then you gotta eat an apple and drink a glass of water, because they're very healthy things. Turn be a good resource. And go back to work and refocus, right? And remember your goals and write them down and run this meeting for yourself over and over and over again until you can like trick yourself into just becoming successful. I can't even wake up past 6:30 a.m. anymore. I'm mad about it, right? 6:30 I'm like up and like negged out. I'm like, why can't I sleep longer? My body's like, you need to be awake and doing something, right? But it's good because it creates long-term success, right? Precinct women know and realize that you're just doing that stuff. But think about this when you're in the store today, because one of these will not work without the other. And we have control over these, and I'm telling you, these are on point. We've got this locked down. This is what we don't have control over, is you. So you gotta figure that out. Cool?
Cool.
And ready to hit the field?
Yeah.
All right, hey guys!
Hey, what?
Think big!
Think bigger! Alright, gang.
Five.